Well, today is Thursday, and that means it's time to throw it back with another Throwback Thursday.
Joining us this morning is Lori Kent with the Local Lou podcast.
Hello.
Good morning.
All right. I love the green eyeshadow. Before we get started,
I love the whole outfit.
I love
flare on.
Yes.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, I'm going to stay on theme here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the unlikely origins of the Sioux Falls St. Patrick's Day Parade, which has been around for 44 years. So where did it come from? And it was the brainchild of Sylvia Henkin, who was the president of KSOO Radio. And she had been to New York City's St. Patrick's Day Parade. She loved it so much, she brought the idea back home with her to Sioux Falls. And in 1980, she decided, let's do that parade here. Wow. And she started planning it in her kitchen. This parade got big quick. People loved this idea. And this is probably when you're gonna think that I'm gonna tell you that she was Irish, but she was not. Her parents actually immigrated from Russia, and her mother was born in Poland. And the Argus leader mentioned that Sylvia was Jewish. But you don't have to be Irish to celebrate Irish heritage, and Sioux Falls has always been a melting pot, so there were plenty of people to celebrate. The first parade, traditions, they started right away. So big crowds, lots of floats, painting of the shamrock, and inconsistent weather have always been a theme. But if you're throwing an outdoor parade in March in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, it's a little risky, no matter how you slice or dice it. And so the first parade had about 80 floats. It had 1,000 or 2,000 people come. They didn't quite do a head count there. And then it had 38-degree weather, which is pretty good. We're not going to complain about that one. There was one misstep with the first parade, of course, jokingly, of course, but the first Grand Marshal was of Scottish descent. So not Irish.
Interesting.
They did go with somebody of Irish descent for the second Grand Marshal, but these days it's not a prerequisite to be Irish if you would like to be the Grand Marshal. And so the second parade also had a couple other interesting things. It had a coffin for a fake wake and an Irish disco for the kids at the Coliseum afterwards. So this parade has never taken itself too seriously. The city took hold of this idea, and for the past 44 years, it has flourished. This parade gets bigger and better every year. We did have to put it on pause in 2020 and 2021, like a lot of things, but the parade has been back for the last couple years. With our weather this weekend, it might be a pretty good turnout, because last year it was freezing cold, and people still came.
Yes, yes, people do show up.
No matter what, rain or shine, people are there. So now we know that Sylvia, she ends up living to be 96 years old. She gets to see how wonderful this parade has become, what a huge tradition it is in Sioux Falls. She dies in 2018, but now we know that her idea became a 44-year strong tradition here in Sioux Falls, where different cultures and ages, they all gather together to watch a parade in downtown Sioux Falls, because everybody is a little bit Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. It's just such a fun parade. I mean, if you have the chance to ever go experience it, it's high energy, just the positive energy. It's so great. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've never seen it before. This is my
yes.
first year in Sioux Falls. So
You'll be right downtown. So
yeah, right.
Just
walk over.
Definitely.
Well, people want to learn more about what you do in the Local Lou podcast. How can they do so?
Oh, thanks. On localloupodcast.com, and there is an episode of Sioux Falls Holiday History out right now that goes a little bit further into the history of the parade.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here this morning, Lori. Thanks. And we'll be right back after the break.